welcome back to the Green Door Dinner Party. My name is Jess. We're glad you're here. Of course, the calendar is still technically in summer, but we're thinking about all things fall, all of those wonderful colors and flavors and textures, and we're going to bring a lot of those together today for a squash and apple soup, and we're going to pair that with a beautiful kale salad as well. So let's get started. Here's my butternut squash. I've already gone ahead and peeled that and diced it up. And a tip for peeling a butternut squash, because it can be a little bit tricky, pop it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the size. And that's going to make that skin a lot easier to get off with a veggie peeler and also make it easier to chop up. And it's just that beautiful orange color. This is going to be delicious. Of course, the base of any soup, onion, carrot, and celery. And this is a peeled green apple that I've already diced up as well. We're going to start by melting about 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Okay, now that we have that butter melted, let's add in our celery, onions, and carrots. I have a cup of onion and about 3/4 of a cup of carrot and celery. And we're just going to let those saute for about 5 minutes until they're softened, and then we'll add our squash and our apple. Once those vegetables are fork tender, we're going to go ahead and add in our apple and squash. And we have a cup of water and 3 cups of whatever kind of broth you like. This is chicken broth. You could also use vegetable broth. So I increased the heat just a little bit. We're going to bring this to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer, cover it, and while we're waiting for that squash and apple to cook, we're going to make a beautiful kale salad. Okay, our soup is simmering. We're going to let that simmer for about 30 minutes until that butternut squash is fork tender. And in the meantime, let's put together a fall kale salad. I bought my kale in a bunch in the produce department. This is what it looks like. And then you just peel it off of this middle stem and then finely chop it. Here's the thing about kale. Sometimes it gets a bad rep. I love it, but you really need to work some olive oil into it to make it a little more tender, or it can be kind of an uncomfortable texture for a lot of people. So I already chopped the kale, and then I massaged some olive oil into it and stuck it in the fridge and just let that set in. And when we dress this salad, we're going to stick it back in the refrigerator while the soup cooks to even let a little bit more dressing go into that kale. You can also buy pre-chopped kale at the grocery store as well. And by the way, you can buy pre-chopped butternut squash at a lot of grocery stores as well if you don't want to peel it and cube it yourself. That will take out probably the most difficult step. We're going to set this kale aside and mix up a homemade dressing. It's going to be the juice of a lemon, some olive oil, garlic, and salt and pepper. So very simple. We'll whisk that up. All right, let's add the toppings to our salad. This is a sweet red apple, whatever variety you like. Some chopped walnuts. Cubed cheddar cheese. Go ahead and get yourself a good quality cheddar cheese for this salad. It just helps it keep its texture, especially after you get that dressing on. We're going to give that a little toss. add our dressing. And toss it again. And finally, we'll add some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. One final toss. Stick that in the fridge. And by the way, you could feel free to add any kind of protein that you like as well, like a rotisserie chicken or a fresh grilled chicken breast, if you wanted to add a little bit of protein to the salad too. Let's check our squash. Oh yeah, the fork slides right in there. Check an apple. Oh yeah, we are ready to blend this up and finish our soup. Everything is ready. We're gonna add a few spices and then we're gonna use this bad boy. This is an immersion blender. We're gonna stick this right into our combination of vegetables and fruit and mix it up, and we're gonna get this beautiful velvety texture squash soup. If you don't have an immersion blender, first of all, they're really inexpensive and they're awesome because this can go in the dishwasher. You can also use a food processor or a blender as well. Before we blend it, we're gonna add our mix of spices. In this bowl are a pinch of nutmeg, a pinch of cinnamon, a pinch of salt and pepper each, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Really bringing in all of those awesome fall flavors. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, here we go. There we go. It is fully blended. And have you ever seen something that looks so beautiful? I can't wait to get this plated up. Okay, part of the fun of this awesome butternut squash and apple soup is adding the garnishes to the top of your bowl. So let's get some of this awesome soup in a bowl. I don't think they make a squash scented candle for fall, but they almost should. This smells so good. Okay. Now we're going to add a little bit of smoked paprika. It'll combine really nicely with the sweetness of the cinnamon and the nutmeg and the apples, plus give you some nice color on top. We're also going to add some fresh chopped parsley and some fresh chives. And if these are herbs that you don't like or aren't your favorite, feel free to mix it up. You could add some nuts, you could add sour cream. I'm going to finish it with some heavy whipping cream, just a drizzle on top to add a little bit more creaminess. There you go. Okay, so today we did our kale salad with the sweet apple and the cheddar and the Parmesan, and our velvety rich butternut squash and apple soup topped with chives, parsley, heavy whipping cream, and paprika. If you are in the mood for fall flavors, this is the perfect meal. Thanks for joining us for the first episode of the fall edition of the Green Door Dinner Party. I hope you love the kale salad and the butternut squash soup. More fantastic fall recipes to come. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Just search the Green Door Dinner Party. We'll see you next time.